Hello, this is Anna Smith from inlingua Tehran with the first episode of our podcasts on business English. Today's topic is interview skills, and in the next 10 episodes, I will be your host, taking you through interview techniques and everything related to business management. You can also find the list of our topics on our website. For those of you who do not know inlingua, we are one of the world's largest language organizations, with over 250 branches in more than 30 countries around the world. What's unique about inlingua is the method that we use, which is fully focused on speaking rather than teaching grammar. In this episode of our podcast, let's work on a few phrases and terms that we use in interviews and will help your interview skills. This episode is for students of B1 level and higher. If you do not know your English level, you can click on the link below to take a placement test. The phrases that we are covering today are to apologize for being late, to project the right image, to have a reputation for, to be good at, and to be capable of. We are going to learn how and where to use these during interviews and understand what an employer is looking for if they use these expressions in an interview. As you know, sometimes you could arrive late for an appointment or for an interview. If you get there late, what should you do? Exactly, you need to apologize. But how do you apologize? Do you just say you are sorry? Or do you explain? Do you take the blame for what you're apologizing for? The way you can say this is, sorry for being late. Sorry I'm late. Sorry to have kept you waiting. Or, please accept my apologies. Now, what you expect for the interviewer to say is basically, it doesn't matter. That's okay. Never mind. No problem. And don't worry about it. You want to respond confidently to questions about yourself in the interview, and you want to describe yourself in positive terms. The expression is, we want to project the right image of ourselves. How are we going to do that? Well, a lot of people think that they are hardworking. If you are well known for being hardworking, you can say, I have a reputation for being hardworking. I have a reputation for achieving all my goals. I have a reputation for completing my tasks. You can use the term to have a reputation for when you are known for something at work. Let's say you're a confident candidate, and this means you are good at making your own decisions, or you're good at completing your tasks, or you're good at selling certain products, or you can work without any supervision. You can say, I'm capable of completing the project on my own. I'm capable of working long hours. I'm capable of handling difficult situations. These were today's terms, and let's look at a scenario where most of these words are used.
Good morning. I'm Patricia Martin. You're here to interview for the library assistant's position, right?
Yes, Ms. Martin. The instant I saw the advertisement, I knew it was just what I was looking for.
Can you tell me why you think this position is so suitable for you?
Well, I've always loved reading, and I feel that this position will offer me an opportunity to work in an environment I enjoy, and in a field where my skills will be fully utilized. For instance, I have a reputation for being organized, which I'd say is vital for someone working in this area.
Do you know exactly what you would be doing as a library assistant?
Yes, I'd be helping to maintain the library and keep a check on books coming in and going out.
How were you as a student? Did you enjoy studying while you were at school?
I suppose I was a reasonably good student. I passed all my tests and enjoyed studying subjects that interested me.
What were your favorite subjects at school?
Math and science were my favorites, but I also enjoyed history.
Do you have any plans to study further?
Yes, I plan to register for a part-time computer course. It will add value to my skill sets. Besides, being computer literate is a tremendous asset in the workplace.
Suppose our company wanted you to attend a course as part of a professional development program. How would you feel about this?
I'd welcome the chance to do anything that would help me to be better at my job and improve my career prospects.
We have a lot of other applicants for this position. Why do you think that you deserve to get the job?
Well, I found out a lot about the nature of this job, and my research suggests that I would be quite capable of doing the work involved. I'm qualified, energetic, and very responsible, just as the job demands. I also think that I'd be able to handle any training program pretty well, provided that it was challenging and stimulating.
So let's ask you some questions, and you can practice these on your own. I will ask you the question, and you will answer it on your own. Try using the words that you have learnt today. What do you do when you're late for an interview? What do you expect to hear when you apologise for being late? What can you bring to the team? What skills have you got that qualify you for the job? What opinion do people have about you based on your past performance? Now let's listen to a real interview with a human resources expert from Robin's HR Services. We are going to ask some questions, and you know, she'll probably be using some of the words and expressions you have learnt today. Hello, and thank you for coming to our podcast.
Hello to you and to our dear listeners. I am really glad to do this interview with you today. Thanks for having me.
Okay, you work as an HR consultant and you oversee a lot of interviews every week. Tell me, what do you expect when someone arrives late? What do you do when someone arrives late for an interview, for example?
Well, I always ask the job seekers to kindly inform me as soon as they find out that they arrive late. But what I really expect from them is to apologize for being late and also to provide me with a valid reason on why they are late. And if the reason is valid, I show respect and sympathy by saying things like, thanks for the explanation, or I totally understand, don't worry about it. Now, having said that, I usually don't find it very helpful to the job seeker if they are late, as that will project the wrong image of them. And the candidate won't give a good first impression, and also it would take a lot of time for them to impress the interviewer for the rest of the interview. Especially if the interviewer is myself, it would be a really hard job for them to impress me. So overall, my suggestion is plan well ahead and in advance to arrive on time for the interview. Keep in mind that it's always better to arrive early rather than late.
Wonderful, great. Thank you for your insight. And now, tell me, what do you look for when you're hiring someone?
Well, I think it's a really great question. I look for someone who is interested in the role, obviously, and basically at the beginning, and someone who can be relied on. So let me put it this way. They must have a reputation for being creative, being honest, and at the same time, we expect them to be definitely tech savvy. This is because they will spending most of their day behind the computer, and nowadays with this pandemic situation and emergency circumstances, it is vital for job seekers to keep themselves updated with the latest technology and all the softwares and hardwares that are currently used in all over the world. One thing that really stands out for me the most is that I look for the skills that people develop during their job at the previous role that they had. And now how we can utilize those skills and capabilities within the role that they are being interviewed for. And in addition to that, they must be capable of thinking independently. And what I mean by independently is that instead of, reaching out to the reporting manager for things that come up over and over again, day by day, it's better for them to act independently and think independently at the same time. I also want to add another thing, and that is that candidates that we would look for usually must be able to utilize the tools and resources that we provide them. It's very important so that they can help the clients in more efficient and, let's say, smarter ways. Now, since I'm really enjoying this interview and such a great opportunity for me, I want to tell you and your listeners a secret that I always use during my interviews. The thing is that when we look for job seekers, we look for someone who has the right character and personality rather than relevant capabilities and skills and knowledge. The main reason behind this is that I believe that things like personality and character, they are the things that you cannot change in people and you cannot teach people. Skills, capabilities, knowledge, you can teach to people, you can, have trainings, workshops for them. Therefore, when it comes to interviews, I think it is extremely important to let precise and professional people and interviewers do the job for you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I was going to ask you what the biggest skill is that you're looking for, but you already answered my question. So thank you so much. And thank you for your time.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. It was an absolute pleasure for me. Have a good day.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for our interview with Baha, an HR consultant at Robbins. Once again, thank you, Baha, and thank you for listening. If you're interested in further reading, The Art of the Interview by James Story is a book you will definitely find helpful. That's it for our first ever episode of In Lingua Tehran podcast.